right, so I am so excited to revive my Autumn Berry soap. And the base here, I've diverted just a bit from my typical recipe just because cocoa butter and olive oil have both gotten extremely expensive. So I've made some slight tweaks, nothing that I've not done before in the past and has been well loved. So we've added in a little avocado and a little bit of shea to my olive, cocoa butter, and castor oil recipe. So I'm going to add in the coconut milk, and I was originally going to make this with goat milk, but then I wanted to have something for my vegan customers because I can't have all my soaps be the animal milk soaps, and I typically have coconut milk soaps as my main recipe. So I am going to mix in this coconut milk to the base oils. Gonna add in the lye solution. I made it last night and it's fairly reduced, so it means it has less water. So I'm going to strain it out. Get these little bits that you see. We call that lye lint, L-I-N-T, lint. And that's just a natural reaction from the sodium hydroxide to the carbon dioxide in the air. And it creates sodium carbonate. I hope I have all my details right. I didn't even really think about that, what it just came out. So hopefully that's completely right. But it's no big deal, and on a fresh batch of lye, as in same day that's just cooled, I let it go in because it's nice and soft. But if it's been sitting for a while, I just don't want to risk it not blending in and having like these pockets. So now I want to bring this to emulsification, and then I'm going to pour it out into pitchers. Alright, so I'm hoping that this batch will fit in these pitchers. They're feeling a little bit small. We shall see. I need to make myself a chart because I just never remember how many of these pitchers each of these batches I make hold. So there's quite a bit of soap still in there. So, I think I will just increase the size of one of the colors here. Alright, so these are all very similar except for this last one. It has about 1,000-ish ml more. So I will just make slight adjustments to the fragrance oil. Let me think how I want to do this. I think I will do the winter white mica then into the bigger one. But I do like more light color a lot of times. And this is just mixed with some of my batch oils. This one is going to be gold. And this is just like a shimmer gold. Both of these. Actually, all of these are from Nurture Soap Supplies, or Nurture Handmade as they are now. This color is a mixture that I made of Purple Vibrance and My Red Obsession to kind of make a like a purpley berry. And this one is a mixture of Purple Vibrance and a little activated charcoal to make it a darker purple. Alright, we'll stir these up. The winter white isn't going to be a bright white, but it's going to be just a little lighter version. I think I was saying a mix of lighter and lightened. This one will be nice and pretty gold. Looking forward to seeing what this one does. That's gorgeous. And then the purple. Oh yeah, that's great. All right, I'm gonna add in my fragrance oil. Now this fragrance has changed. This is a new blend. Oh, it's so good though. It's so warm and it totally reminds me of Autumn Berry. It's just a total vibe. And I've been making this soap for just so long. I think that there's pictures of it clear back possibly on my old blog, if that's even still in the interworlds of the webs. And then, so we're just make sure we get it in all of them. I did kind of adjust these a little bit. And then I'll be giving these all a nice blend because they're obviously too thin right now. This is a mixture of Huckleberry because Montana. And I have also mixed in a like cranberry, apple, citrus, clove. Oh my gosh, it's so good. I am loving it. This is just the most amazing scent. This is my studio workshop. My gosh, has smelled just absolutely phenomenal today with the batches that I'm doing. I don't like it to go up in the spout because it never mixes in right. Alright, that's came to a trace really quickly. Starting to thicken up quite a bit, so I'm gonna go ahead and get to town here. I think I want it to be more chunky, thick swirls instead of super thin. So just going to just kind of see where it goes. I did get out my hanger swirl. I'm not sure if I want to do that or not. Hanger tool. Did I say swirl? I meant tool. I'm pretty used to this batch. It seems like no matter what fragrance I decide, it's always pretty thick. was trying to kind of go in circles, but you know, I'm not very steady, especially when it starts to get thick. Now I normally swirl this batch with a spoon, but I'm thinking maybe I better not. I did use part of this fragrance in my pumpkin soap the other day, but I wasn't trying to do a bunch with it either. I just put it in the mold straight, one color. This is definitely getting to be very haphazard. So I guess I'm done with the so-called white color, which was turning out to be kind of a gold in of itself. Because it fell on the floor when I was smacking. So I'm not gonna go after it. There wasn't that much left in it, so we're just gonna roll. I did want it to be a little bit more light on the top. I probably should have put some of this of the darker colors in. That charcoal is really kind of coming into play all of a sudden. Not all of a sudden, but boy, that is getting dark. But I think it's going to be very pretty for this particular scenario. This one is definitely being ornery as per usual. There's always the element that makes it the autumn portion. It always accelerates it a little bit. I was hoping that this one would work a little bit better. And we're still not in a serious situation, but it did accelerate a little bit more than I was hoping for. Contemplating here doing like a gold mica drizzle, which would be gorgeous. But I'm not sure how I'm going to move the soap around because it's setting up pretty good. So I think I'm just gonna leave it. I think it looks really pretty. It's fairly even, so I don't think that's gonna be an issue. So yeah, I think I'm just going to go with this. It's actually just really beautiful. So let's just go with it and see what it does. I'm going to spritz it with alcohol, cover it, let it solidify and saponify, and then I will be back in a few days to give it a cut up. So I'm back to cut this autumn berry soap, and it turned out great. Look at it, it's so pretty. I love it. This color on the top, the darker purple, I was a little worried about it for a while because it was getting very black looking, but it has really lightened up quite a bit. Now I've already cut a loaf and I've busted the wire. I was just so eager. I wanted to go ahead and cut one and see what it looked like, and so I like, I can cut one. I'll just cut a loaf, and then I busted it. So gonna be careful, hope no more bust. It's pretty hard, but I waited a little bit too long to cut it this time. Look how beautiful. Did this not just turn out the most beautiful, gorgeous soap you ever did see? I love it. It smells so good. I'm very excited. I am so very excited. It smells amazing. Even though this scent is different, like I have not used the same fragrances at all. It smells, to my knowledge, exactly the same as it always has. And I love it so much. Oh, it's so good. I'm very excited about this. I was just thinking I was probably wanting to take a picture with the loaves of a bar, but I forgot. Plus, this is discoloring just a little bit, so I'll try to show you maybe on this one will work. My wrist is like popping all over the place. I do not know what's happening. Let's see. Well, I think we're showing a little bit where it's going to discolor at the bottom. But it is going to discolor a little bit. So see, here's like the fresh cut. And then we have this end that has been out in the air for quite some time. So it will discolor a little bit. And I think that's great. It's actually exactly what it needs to do for this particular one. Oh, I love it. I apologize for that squeaking. It does not do it all the time. It's hilarious. I'll have to get some WD-40 out here or something. Oh, this is so good. I'm very pleased with this batch. At first, I was like, well, our colors aren't quite as bright as what I wanted. I've had some just really like bright pink, bright purple, still more towards the berry side of things, but very bright in this particular autumn berry that I do. And I do believe I used to use some, what did I use? I used some cranberry seeds as well at some point in the scenario. So it is a little bit more of a muted color, but I really like it. I think it's soft and kind of like gentle on the eyes instead of it just being a bright pink and purple and white color. So I'm very happy with this batch. I think it turned out awesome. All the bars are just so different. It's just a great batch. It was a good soap making day. I'm glad I went ahead and made a little bigger batch. I'm almost afraid I didn't make a big enough batch. Even still, it smells so good. It's amazing. So pretty. Oh, I love the top on this one. It has this little dollopy drip thingy there going on. That's really pretty. I can't get over the scent on this one. It smells so good. I don't know if you could see it, but you might be able to see like little round bumps here and there. That's from cutting it with the wires. And that's what happens with the bubbles in a batch. It exaggerates those a little bit. I know these aren't going to be in order anymore. I've decided to accept that fate. I see the side of this one. I really want to see the inside. So I was looking at that side. Isn't that pretty? It's just so cool. And I'm really glad they didn't do any extra swirling like I was tempted to do. I'm glad I just left it as it was. So here we have the Autumn Berry soap. It turned out just so great. It's pretty, it smells amazing. It's going to go on the curing rack and should be available later in August. Make sure you check out the video description because I will have information there on the release. I do hope that you enjoyed this video, and if so, will you please give it a like and leave me a comment? Thanks so much. I'll chat with you later.